These days we read stuff out there in the press and on social media, and at first glance we think it's a joke. I just read that a school in San Francisco called Abraham Lincoln High School is changing its name, getting rid of the name Lincoln, in response to pressure from the left to the effect that Lincoln didn't sufficiently care about blacks, that he was insufficiently committed to the idea that black lives truly matter. Now, really? The guy who issued the Emancipation Proclamation, the guy who ended slavery in the United States, the guy who inspired after the Civil War innumerable blacks who under slavery only had a first name to take the last name Lincoln? Why would they do that if they thought that Lincoln didn't care about them, didn't do anything for them? The truth of it is that the progressive argument today is based upon this false idea that somehow the Civil War wasn't about slavery. And it's based upon Lincoln's statement that if he could save the Union without freeing a single slave, he would do it. And why did Lincoln say that? This is the question. Because, first of all, on the face of it, Lincoln could have saved, if that was his sole goal, to save the Union, Lincoln could have saved the Union by agreeing to the demands of the South. He could have said, listen, I'm going to let the Democrats take slavery into the territories. I'm going to repudiate the Republican platform of 1860. Let it be. And in that case, there would have been no secession and there would have been no Civil War. The Union would have been saved. But Lincoln was not willing to save the Union on that basis. Why then did Lincoln make that strange statement? The reason is simple. Lincoln understood that the way to win the Civil War was to win it through the Union. The Union was the mechanism for winning the war and thus ending slavery. And Lincoln had to keep the border states. Let's remember, there were 4 border states, Delaware, Maryland, Kentucky, and Missouri, that had slaves, but that had not seceded. And Lincoln believed that if those states seceded, the cause of the Union would be lost, and thus the cause of slavery, his cause to end slavery, would also be lost. So Lincoln's statement has got to be understood in that context, and it was understood in that context by generations of Americans, including the black slaves who knew that their emancipation was largely due to the effort of this melancholy, determined man, one of the founders of the Republican Party, Abraham Lincoln. So, in a sense, I'm sort of relieved that this school that knows nothing about Lincoln, nothing about itself, nothing about the man who not only formed the country but inspired the school itself, they've, in a sense, given up on Lincoln. And so they're not worthy of the name of Lincoln. I'm kind of glad that they've given it up. Not because Lincoln is unworthy of them, but because they don't deserve the Lincoln name anymore.